Hey small group leaders, this is the first week of June 7th training video, and I just want to thank you guys for watching this. It means that you care a lot about your kids and you want to be prepared when you show up on Sunday. And I really believe that working with kids and being a small group leader was one of the most important jobs in the entire world. And that's because our kids are going to make decisions on what they think about God and what they think about Christ for their entire life based on what you tell them. So I am just so thankful for you. I'm thankful that you care. I'm thankful that you show up, and I'm thankful that you take this seriously. A lot of people have heard my story already, but I am here today. I work at New Life Church, and I'm a follower of Jesus because of the people who, my Sunday school teachers, the people who poured into me when I was a little girl. I know that's why I'm here. I know that's why I still believe in God. I know that's why I have faith. So thank you. Thank you for doing what you do, because it really is making an eternal difference. So we're talking about faith, and really, it's okay to question God. It's okay to question if He's real. It's okay to have these questions, because it's really cool. God is real and God is true, and that makes it okay to question Him, because we can find out the truth. And the truth is that He's alive and He's loving and He cares about you, and He did make this world. And so it's okay to have those, it's okay to wonder, and it's okay to question, because if you really have a good heart and you really want to find out, you'll find out the truth. And the truth is that God is alive and He loves you very much. So faith, our definition of faith is trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. And the first week we're talking about the birds of the air, which is found in Matthew 6 actually, verses 25 and 34. So actually the next 2 weeks are from the book of Matthew. So if you have some time and you're like, man, I really, I don't know what part of the Bible to read Matthew. You can start at chapter 6 if you want and read up, but maybe start at the beginning. Read the entire book. Read it like a book. Sometimes I read scripture and I study it, which is awesome, but sometimes it's good to read it like a story, to read it like a book. And so read through the book of Matthew over the next 2 weeks if you have a chance, and it would be a great learning experience. So definitely I encourage you to do that. And our bottom line this week is you can believe in a God you can't see because you can see what God has made. And the disciples in this passage of Scripture, Matthew chapter 6, are kind of like worrying about what's going to happen in the future. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And Jesus is like, wait a second. Look at the birds of the air. I care what happens to them. I care if they fall from a tree. I care if they break a wing. Look at the grass of the field. Look at the flowers that are here today and gone tomorrow. I take care of them. So don't you think I'm going to take care of you? Are you really worried about what you're going to eat and drink? Because I'm in control of your life, and you're following me, and I'm going to care for you, and I'm going to provide for you. So that's what our Bible story is about. 3 through 6 has some great activities. The first one is It All Comes to God. That's what it's called. And it's just connecting everything back to God. You have a piece of paper, butcher paper, with a circle in the middle of it. And their first example is like the kids can pick anything, like bread. That was their first example. So you have bread in the first circle, and then you put a circle on top of it, and you're like, okay, what makes bread? Grain makes bread. Okay, what makes grain? Plants, like some sort of plant. I don't even know. Makes grain. Wheat, I don't know, whatever. And they're like, okay, who makes that plant? And they're like, oh, God makes that plant. And so everything points back to God, and they can go through that with anything in the world, any thing that they love. They can do it with Disneyland. It doesn't even matter. They can do it with anything, and you can make a circle graph pointing in how it leads to God and how it comes back. And yeah, there's metal, and yeah, there's different things, but who made that? God did. And the second one is gravity, and it's pretty cool. We have like tennis balls and ping pong balls and different things like that. So the first thing I would do is drop 2 tennis balls. Do they hit the floor at the same time? Have a kid stand on a chair and drop them. Do they hit the floor at the same time? Yeah, pretty much they do. And then they can drop different things like a tennis ball and a ping pong ball. Do they hit the floor at the same time? No, not really. You can drop a book and a ball, whatever. There are things that hit the floor at different times. And if you take a bucket, and we have a bucket with beans in the bottom of it, and you spin it around like a Ferris wheel, the beans don't fall out. And there's a reason for that. Gravity. We can't see it, but it is the thing that holds us to the earth. It's a reason that apples fall from trees and different things like that. We cannot see gravity, but we feel its effects. And that is exactly the same with God. We feel His effects. He loves us so very much, and He's taking care of us, but we can't see Him. But we can see what He does do. And for 3 through 6, they get to make balloon birds. So you guys have some balloons and Sharpies, and try to keep them from writing on themselves because it's Sharpie, and so it's kind of bad. But they can draw a balloon, on a balloon, a bird. So we have some pictures of birds that they can draw, and it's kind of a fun art project. And then the second one is Do you ever play that game Memory? When you were a kid, like, you would have all these cards and they'd be laid out in front of you, and you'd flip one over and it's like a bird, and then you'd flip another one over and it was like a dog, and you'd flip them back over, and then you try to remember where they're at. So if someone else flips over a bird, you're like, ooh, I remember this one was a bird and this one was a bird, and then you get those cards. So it's doing that, but it's with names and types of birds. So we're just, learning some birds. God cares about the birds, so maybe we should too. And it's going to be a learning activity and also pointing back to how God cares about everything. So that's what's going on this week. Why don't you guys... Oh, I have a good one. If you want the prize, you should memorize the memory verse, which is Hebrews 11:1. Faith is being sure of what you hope for and certain of what you cannot see. I think it might be in a different version, actually, in your quick guide, so maybe you should memorize that version. But come tell me that, and you will get a reward. So thank you guys so much for watching this, and I really do think that being a small group leader and investing in our kids is one of the most important things you can do with your time. So thank you.